If you're a Traxxas Slash 4x4 owner, you know how fast the inside of this chassis can just get mucked up with dirt, dust, rocks, and debris, and how fast the body can just get cracked and beaten up after a really good bash session. Well, we have a few solutions that we're gonna try in this video with the Dusty Motors Chassis Protective Shroud, a Scorched RC wheel wells, and then lastly, we're gonna equip our truck with a Proline Bash Armor short course body. So before we start installing the parts on the Slash 4x4, let's go over really quickly what we have. We have three main items. So we have this Dusty Motors Chassis Protective Shroud. This uses Velcro going around the chassis to hold on this mesh shroud that'll help keep the inside of the chassis clean. And then there's also some sleeves to put over the shock to prevent dirt and debris from collecting on the shock. Dusty Motors actually makes these for a variety of vehicles, Traxxas, Arma, and more. They're pretty snazzy and they come in a variety of colors. The next item we're gonna use is this Scorched RC Lexan wheel wells. So these are made for the HCG Traxxas Slash. They make these for the LCG Slash 4x4 as well. They are Lexan, you can paint them, but they do need to be cut out and then installed on the chassis. Lexan scissors are included with this package, which is pretty cool. The next item we're gonna equip on our 4x4 is the Proline Bash Armor body. This is the Flowtech body. It comes pre-cut with all of these nice air vents on the body. We will have to mark and remount our body mount holes, but other than that, there's lots of venting on this body, which helps short course trucks kind of fly through the air without the ballooning effect. Proline makes these Bash Armor bodies for a lot of different vehicles. This Flowtech body will actually accommodate a lot of different short course platforms, including the two-wheel drive Slash. So I'm gonna get busy installing these parts on the truck, and then once we're done with that, we're gonna go outside and drive it. So the first thing we're gonna put on this truck is the Dusty Motors Chassis Protector. So with this package, we get the shroud. This is the mesh. Then we also receive some Velcro, hook and loop tape, because that's what holds it onto the chassis. And then it includes this sleeving, which you cut to length for your shocks. Okay, the shock sleeves are on, front and rear. They look pretty snazzy. Snazzy, that looks good. That looks really good. It's recommended in really hot temperature to have it open. Next, let's take a look at these Scorched RC inner fenders. We've got two pieces. Must be a front and a rear panel, and then we're gonna have to cut down the center, but this is pretty thick Lexan. This is just a white overspray film here on the top, so we can use some Lexan paint to spray the bottom and color it. We have the front fenders done. We used a Sharpie to trace out kind of the cut lines because it's a little tough to see. In the instructions, they have some guides of where to put those Sharpie marks. It was pretty easy, so we just did a rough cut to make it kind of quick so we can get the wheel wells on here to see how it looks. Now, there is one issue with using the Dusty Motors Chassis Protector Shroud, is that there are some screws to attach these fenders that are gonna have to go through to the chassis. So we're gonna have to pop some holes right through this mesh shroud. I think it'll be okay though. So the wheel wells will look something like this, attaching to the side of the chassis. All right, we have our fenders painted. It's not the best paint job in the world, but it's okay. They're not gonna really be seen. So I'm just gonna put them on, do a rough fit. Okay, the fronts are on. It was a little bit of a challenge to get the screw through the Lexan and then through the mesh. You can actually just put some force down on the screw as long as you have it lined up with the hole, and the screw will just go right through the mesh. So now let's do the back. Okay, we got the back on super fast. The first one took the longest, and then they got quicker as we went. So here we have it. We have the Dusty Motors Shroud in the chassis, so that's gonna keep the entire internal chassis clean. And then these wheel wells, these fenders, are going to keep all the debris from coming up from the bottom, so that should also help eliminate any debris from even getting in there in the first place. And then this shroud will just kind of really keep it out. So let's put the stock body on here and see how well it fits with these fenders and see what it looks like. It's a little bit of finesse to get the Lexan body over those fenders. That is pretty nice. So if we take the body back off, we have one more piece that came with this Scorched RC fender set. And it's this front Lexan piece that you can put right here in the front nose. I may have this upside down, but I don't think I'm gonna put this in. I think we're gonna leave this out to allow some of that airflow to come through, because this setup will cause extra heat when it's already really hot out. So we mentioned it before, but if it's especially hot out, this Dusty Motors protective shroud is something you're gonna wanna have open to let the airflow flow. I think it's time we put this bash armor body on. Man, this thing is incredible. It is so heavy duty. The Lexan on here is 5 millimeters thick or so. It's just really, really durable. Wow, not bad. So we need to mark our body mount holes underneath the body. There are some little dimples on here, and then there's some instructions that tell us which holes we need to ream for the Slash 4x4. Holy smokes. Body holes are popped. Because the Lexan wheel wells attach up on the body post, that's taking up a little bit of space. And then when you add this really thick body right here, on top of it, there is very little room of clearance to put our body pins. There is no way that's gonna work. Maybe we need the Proline extended body mounts. These are the extended body mounts for the Slash 4x4. We're gonna give these a try to get that bash armor body mounted. Okay, the body fits on. So there was a little bit of tweaking. There was a couple of set screws I had to back out so these, so the caps could thread on there all right. On the front mounts, I had to get my hand under there and just kind of push it up a little bit, but the caps went on. They're on there now. They're tight. The body is secure. And that looks pretty good. All right, we are done with our Slash 4x4 cleanup project, and the only thing left to do is now go drive it. But before we do, let's just admire our finished product. All right, let's drive. Okay, we're all done. Let's open it up, see what she looks like. Dang, that is pretty clean. There's some dust on our wheel wells, but as far as debris, there isn't a whole lot. Let's open up our shroud. Little dusty, but that's it. There's like one little piece, but that is a huge difference from the before when there was no shroud installed. Motor's not too bad, although it's not a really hot day out, so yeah, huge improvement. Little debris, but yeah, that really kept it clean. Big time. All right, guys, that's a wrap on this Slash cleanup project for this 4x4. The shroud and the wheel wells worked really well. This combo or setup should work for a lot of different applications. The only thing to kind of be mindful of are the temperatures of the electronics will get much hotter on hot days, so it might be a good idea to leave that open for extra airflow. If you guys have any questions or comments for us, please leave that down below, and we'll have some links down there as well. If you want some more information on any of the products that we showed in this video, I'm Brett with AMain Hobbies. Thanks for watching.
This body is so awesome. Look at this. Let it go so well. It's like nearly indestructible. That's all I wanted to show.